Yeah, this is about the...
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going in bare deep. Like.
Okay, dokes, this is the Litmus podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. You're locked in right now with me, Swarzy and...
Me, the real Ben Hurst.
The real Ben Hurst.
We're out here.
And today we are doing podcast vibes all the way because we've got...
Wow. Come on.
The
coming too early.
ad-libs are early. We've got my man
This
Patrick
guy,
in the house.
What's going on,
Don't
everybody?
even like this on our podcast.
Yo!
No, I'm proper excited, man. I'm just like vibing off the energy.
You
What's going
would
on,
actually
people?
leave our podcast, I can tell.
We've got
Found a new home.
Put in a transfer request.
podcast vibes. We've got Patrick in
Podcast
the house.
royalty in here.
We've got Mr. Bilal in the house as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Yo,
Tweets
yo.
by?
Hey, man.
Insta by?
What's
Wow. Oh, my days.
Banter
12K.
by.
Man's got his
Banter by.
locks flowing today as
Man,
well,
that,
man.
Got the trim, got the
Hair
nice
by.
little... Rah.
Wow.
You should actually launch a line. Hair by Bilal.
Hair
That would
Whoa.
bang.
It
Yo,
sounds good
that
as
That
well.
would
doesn't
bang,
it?
innit?
Hair by
And
Bilal.
because it sounds
Yeah.
Asian as well,
That hair care thing.
well,
Innit? Wow.
You can just bridge
the
a lot
Asians
of...
taking over the black
trust
hair
me, just
care
franchise the
industry.
thing.
Yeah, you
Calm.
can bridge a lot
I
of
don't wanna-
cultural gaps and that, innit? Because it's like...
Speaking of bridges,
Wow. That was smooth.
That was a really good segue. I like that.
smooth.
Let's do it,
bruv,
bro.
I'm sick, you know. I'm good at
Yeah.
this. I'm good at this.
Go for it.
Right, well,
No, you gotta carry on.
You,
You
like,
start-
Carry that on.
all right, so we need to do how we know you because that's what we do at the beginning of every podcast. You man are famous, innit?
No, man.
Low key.
Nah, not
I'm
famous.
literally sitting next to a celebrity.
Now, come on, I'm just clouting at the moment, but you're actually famous,
I don't know what you're
and you.
No, don't put your hand at me.
Fam,
Like,
come
I'm
on.
not
Why are you
famous,
pointing?
son.
Tell the truth.
Why
tell
are you
the
bringing
truth.
out your big hand?
All right, what do you do? What's going on? What do you do?
So we're part of a podcast called Over the Bridge.
Oh wow!
Yeah, man.
Let me just look up the numbers, the statistics on the gram for.
No,
just
you
for
know
the-
what? Our Instagram's not even popping like
Yeah,
that. Look
what's
at
it
our,
saying?
go to our
Instagram
SoundCloud is better, but yeah.
Oh right.
Over the Bridge podcast. We started just about a year ago. We celebrated our first birthday.
Hey.
Last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
And yeah, we had our second live show last week at the Curtain in Shoreditch. And we had the wonderful Mr. Ben Hurst. He sat opposite me, not paying attention
Obviously,
right now.
I'm just
But
looking
he
at
was-
this
he
7,000
was-
listens.
He was on top form on the show.
Man, don't drop off.
No, it was so enjoyable. Like,
Never.
I don't.
can I?
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No, but it was yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. We were discussing masculinity and just really sort of like trying to get into what these guys are actually making me laugh. I can't even go through it. I'm trying to be serious.
We're getting into.
Was it good?
That's actually deep. They get into it.
No, but yeah, we were getting into masculinity, unpacking what masculinity, what sort of a healthier form of masculinity would look like in today's world, and what our masculinity means to us. And it wasn't just Ben that was our guest. We also had Alexander Leon as well.
Wow, what a guy!
You two are actually so funny, you know.
Do you know what? Yeah, I told him he's coming on here soon.
Yeah, you got
Everyone
him
needs
on.
to listen, you know.
This guy, when you hear the episode, Swaz, you'll
It's
know.
so funny.
You're deep
Yeah,
in.
I need to listen
Yeah.
back.
He is jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a good time. We had a blast. So yeah, Over the Bridge podcast. It's me, Patrick P Money, Bilal, Pastor Bilal, Hair by Bilal now.
Hair by.
And
Go
we
with
got two other guys on the podcast with us. That's Tom Swift, also known as Tommy Dyer,
Tommy D.
from Stratford, West Ham
Supports
supporter. and
West
all that.
Ham.
Do you know what I mean? And Kweku as well. Mr. What do we call him now? Slim Wednesday. Slim Wednesday.
Slim Wednesday.
El Choco is
He's
his,
also like
that's his new moniker.
Yeah, El Choco, but Brother Nature though. He's Brother Nature of
yeah,
Croydon.
he's
It's
bro, yeah,
El
Brother
Brother
Nature.
Nature of Croydon.
Yeah, you know, but for real, he's Brother
really
Nature.
is.
He's got a lot of different hats, but yeah, he runs a chocolate company with his older brother called Dapper
is
Chocolates.
too
I'll just plug them
sick.
quickly. Dapper Chocolates.
Woohoo.
So they
Dapper
do everything
Chocolates.
from the bean to the bar, as he likes to say.
Right.
And they get their cocoa beans from Ghana because that's where they're originally from,
Obviously,
and they put it all together, manufacture it in South London, in Croydon, I believe.
Fam,
their
how do
house,
you
you
know
know.
this much about your friends?
Why? Because they're my friends,
This
innit,
guy's
man?
been listening.
Bare information.
To be
She's
fair, we
actually
do this
listening when
every
people
single
talk.
episode.
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
No, but
yeah.
shout them
Elevator
guys. Yeah, that's us, man.
Wow, that
That's
was a
Sick.
good intro, you know.
That was
Thanks,
sick,
man.
innit?
That was good.
And obviously, you and I worked together.
Yeah, we worked together.
Freelance
Kinda.
life.
I've never worked with you, but we
no,
worked
it's mad.
together.
We work for the same organisation, but we never actually. We just go on
I've
flights
actually-
together, but we never
Actually, very
in the
rarely
same
see
room.
him at work.
Yeah, it's a myth.
Yeah, it's mad.
And then you.
You don't even know what I do. See what I mean? You just
No,
listen
it's
to your
not, I'm
friends.
not trying to think
Listen
of what
to
you
your
do.
boys.
I'm not trying to think of what you do, but I've lost it. What was I gonna say? What the hell?
Well, I was going to say that I know Over the Bridge podcast guys because
That's what I was
you
gonna
lot were mad friendly to me. So this is how it went down, yeah? I did an exhibition called
Look how
Too
she's
Much
drawing us
Sauce.
out.
Wow.
So we begged
You guys were begging me. Obviously.
Please, Swaz, let me on.
You guys was begging friends.
No, go for it.
No way. So I put together this exhibition called
Which was sick, by the way.
Too Much Sauce,
Yeah.
and I just saw you guys killing it on the timeline, and I was like, do you know what? You lot have to come down for one of the live events in the evening and come share your stories. And I just think you got back to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, they actually messaged me back.
She's like, rah, they're famous.
Rah, they're famous,
They
and they're
reply
gonna
to
come
DMs.
back.
I've never had anyone that excited about sliding in the DMs before, man. That's crazy.
I feel
Here
like
we
you're
go.
lying, bro.
No, I wasn't.
I can tell you stories, but off air.
Off
We'll
air.
get there.
So that's kind of where we touched base, really. And then you
Yeah, man.
and Tom came down and just blew us away, really, by your story and just how the podcast came together. And loads of people were really, really encouraged. And then Bilal, I know through Ben, I believe.
Yeah.
And so it's just a small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
A really,
Yeah.
really
What's
small
wicked
world.
is like these two people are the two people we've had as guests
Yeah.
on our lives.
So I should have said
Yeah,
that
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Swarzy was
So
our
Swarzy was our first guest,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
on the first
Aw.
show. So yeah, man, it's a small world.
Yeah, it's
Small
popping.
world.
It's on and popping.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I'm starting to roll in some elite circle, like where everyone's bare sick.
When you
Nah,
see
I'm just
these
trying to
two
be
pop
like
up,
you,
it's
fam.
okay.
You know
I'm
them
just trying
ones.
to be
I'm
like
not,
you.
honestly,
Yeah,
man, I'm just
literally
trying to be like
every
you,
time.
fam.
Trying to
Like,
be
we're
like you.
just
That Spider-Man meme is going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
across the room.
So Over the Bridge podcast, can you just give us a quick summary of how you came together, the four of you? We've got 2 out of 4 on the podcast today, but how did the 4 of you come together? And please, I beg, explain the name Over the Bridge. Because
What
when
is
you
the
told
bridge?
me, I was
Which bridge?
gone.
All right, Bilal, you want to get into it?
Oh man, you're so good at this bit. And I'm like, okay, help me out because I actually don't really remember.
All right, so this is how it started, and then you can.
Wow.
No, but then
I
you,
said help me, and
No,
man's just like,
I'll-
right,
I'll
I'm gonna
start
tell
you
the
off.
story.
I'll start
Once
you off,
upon
and
a
then
time.
you can take it over.
Oh,
So
my
we
days.
so do you remember we was arguing about we were talking about cultural appropriation on Twitter one day, and Twitter is not the place to be having like nuanced discussions or whatever. This is something that we discovered, and we were talking
let you
about
know.
Yeah,
huh?
well.
Yeah, Ben knows this well. And we were talking about chicken connoisseur actually, and just kind of trying to understand like what was it about like chicken shops that made it so fascinating to like, you know, these sort of gentrifiers and white middle class people and whatever, like all that stuff. And yeah, we were just talking about what is cultural appropriation, and you know, can it ever be a positive thing or whatever. So that's kind of the discussion that was taking place on Twitter. Bilal, you wanna
Yeah,
take
and
off
it's
from it?
between like me, you, Tom, Quake, because Tom used to have Twitter back then, Kwaku, and then our friend George, the poet.
Yeah.
And
Shout
the
out George.
Shout out George, man.
George.
Yeah,
The
man.
5th but invisible member. He was on our group chat at the time. I'm
Was
gonna call
George
him
a-
out.
He was on the original lineup.
He was on the original
Nah.
lineup.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
You know, I hosted an event that George was performing at, like
Is it?
when I was in uni, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
At
George is
uni?
a real one.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
real one. He's a real one.
Shout
He's
out George,
he's our
man.
boy. So the 5 of us got in a conversation, and after that decided maybe we should meet up and talk about some other things. Because also at the time on Twitter, people were like calling out. It was a Cambridge applications, right? And talking
Yeah.
about the Cambridge application.
It was that
process.
famous photo that went viral of all the
Yeah, do you remember there was a photo of like 15
men
black
at
men
Cambridge.
Yeah,
chilling
yeah.
outside
Darkies.
Cambridge. And so we were
Did you
talking
say
about
black women?
it was black men
Black-
of Cambridge
black
at
men.
the
Because
time.
I
Black
said
men of
darkies, but
Cambridge.
if it was women, I would take that back quick.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, that would have been inappropriate.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
all
but
right.
it's
We'll
fine,
move
it's
on.
fine.
No, it's black
Sorry,
men of
carry on,
Cambridge.
carry
that Ben doesn't want to be cancelled.
Yeah,
But
don't-
anyway,
don't
like we
cancel
ended
me,
up
please.
we ended up talking
Cancel
about
before he started.
so before he's begun. We ended up talking about that, and then decided we're going to meet up. So we went to Box Park Shoreditch and sat there, had a conversation about maybe we should record this conversation, because it's wicked that we're having this conversation about our own experience of Cambridge
Yeah.
University as 5 men sitting here like eating food. But let's also give it a go and like see what other people can gain from this.
Actually, the Cambridge thing sort of came up because I remember. So around the same time, I was just talking about my experiences at Cambridge, and I remember saying, sometimes, like I think to myself, was it even really worth it going to Cambridge? And that pissed a lot of people off. Like they
Wow.
was mad at me, and like they were like, how can you say such a thing? You know, people work really hard to get to Cambridge. They work their whole academic life just to have an opportunity like that, and you're just throwing it back in their face. It's like, trust me, I know when you say they worked hard, because I had to work hard as well. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
after coming out of that, I'm still unsure of whether how beneficial it was for me and my career.
All right.
And I was like, look, guys, I'm only gonna tweet my experiences. Like, I'm not here to make anybody feel better. I'm just being real about it. Like,
No,
Cambridge
it's just-
wasn't a bed of roses. Like,
Yeah.
once you're there, they work you hard. So I remember a lot of people were angry and just giving me a lot of grief. So I was like, do you know what? This is not the place I did this discussion.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this kind of stuff on the podcast.
In a space where people want to listen. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
So we thought we'd just have an honest conversation between the 5 of us.
Yeah.
And then the 4 of us turned up to the studio. Shout out, George. And then the rest of us carried on talking about.
Don't be like that.
I'm not bitter. The rest
We
of
love
us
George, man.
I'm actually joking.
He's
It's
too late.
He actually has been on 2 of our episodes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's sick.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone should listen to
You
those
can't
2.
redeem yourself.
No,
I'm trying so hard.
He's a busy guy in it.
Digging a
So
grave.
he missed the first episode. I remember he messaged the next day like, "Raw, was it yesterday? I thought it was today still."
Yeah.
And
And we just left it from there.
Yeah.
And then the 4 of us carried on. Because he put that episode out. Like we actually recorded it August the year before we started. So about 7 or 8 months before we actually launched our podcast.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
six,
yeah.
6, 7 months, and
I
then
can't count. I don't do maths.
Yeah,
But we put it out there in the end.
yeah.
And it actually gained a lot of traction because people are like, wow, this is bare interesting. You guys should talk about some other stuff.
Mm.
So from there, we were like, you know what? Let's carry this on and start a podcast.
Yeah.
And the name Over the Bridge came from the fact that we were potentially over Cambridge,
Yeah.
bringing that bridge. And there's like a famous bridge in Cambridge. I can't remember what it's even called.
The Bridge of Sighs, isn't it?
I don't know, man.
I don't think that's the actual name, but it looks like the Bridge of Sighs in Venice.
But you said that the river is called the River Cam.
Cam. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why the city is called. I'm guessing the first bridge
Cam.
over that Cam, over
That's
the River
mad.
Cam was
Ah,
Cambridge.
I
So
said
yeah,
Cam.
so we called it Over the Bridge, being like, are we over this place?
Yeah, because
Let's carry
Cambridge
on.
is sort of, I wouldn't say affectionately known as, but the shorthand for it is just the bridge. Like, I'm
Okay.
in the bridge.
Right.
kind of thing.
That's a not affection.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated relationship.
Okay. So I think that the litmus today. So we had 2 separate questions for you.
Mm.
What one do we want to go with? I think let's do. All right. So this is today's litmus. We're gonna do agree or disagree. You got to give us your reasoning.
Mm.
University
Yeah,
is the best 3 years of your life.
disagree.
Wow.
Already,
straight.
Wow,
yeah, straight up,
straight.
man.
Man,
Disagree.
because you started early.
You
was
can't
like, I
peak
don't
at
know if- I don't know if
university, man.
think-
You
if it
can't
was
peak at
even-
university.
Really?
Yeah, you can't peak at university, man. There's
But-
so much more to life than university, and those 3 pressure-filled years where you're just literally your whole kind of existence and worth is just based on your academic achievement. There's so much more to life than that.
I feel like
I'll
your
go
university
further,
was-
but
yeah.
no,
I
no.
feel like your university experience was mad different to mine because I don't really remember working too tough, man. I was low key chilling, but I was in Bible college, so it was a bit different as
Oh
well.
yeah, you
like, it
said
was a
2.
bit of a,
Got
yeah.
2 theologians in there.
Yeah,
No,
man.
mad thing.
Obviously, you're out here.
What?
Pastor Bilal
B,
did
Pastor
theology
B
as well.
Pastor B.
Yeah, 2
Obviously,
Pastor
man's
B's.
doing the hermeneutics and that. You get me? The
Pastor B
hermeneutic.
squared, you know.
Come on, man, G. But so you're saying you disagree it's not
Wholeheartedly,
university-
man.
Really?
The world is so much bigger than
But
you.
are you
Nah.
disagreeing because the word is best?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So-
I mean,
So you're not discounting
So do you
the
think they were
3
good?
years. At
they were great
university.
years.
Is
They were
the-
great years.
Okay, so it's
But
not
the
trash.
thing is, yeah,
No, uni's.
how would you know what the rest of your life, what if the rest of your life is trash?
It would be sad
Wow.
if that was the case. But
Like Coach Carr. These are the best years of these boys' lives. It's peak.
I'd
It's peak.
honestly like it would be sad if that were the case. Like if uni were the best years of your life. Like I pray to everybody that's listening to this thing, right? Like if you really feel that uni was the happiest and best time of your life, don't wish that for you. Like don't settle. Like there's so much
Yeah.
more to like. So one reason I say this is because I met some amazing people at uni, like really intelligent people. Like
Thank you, man.
I thought, and Bilal, and I met
Ouch.
I met some amazing people at uni.
I couldn't even figure out 6 or 7 months.
It's
so.
love. Yeah, I mean, his maths is terrible. Come on, like I was talking about really smart people here. Like, you know them ones where like you're like you used to work hard in Cambridge, right? You work hard, and you're like, I'm gonna try and get a first for this essay, and then you just get like a higher T1. And you're like, okay, cool. And then there'll be this guy that's just like a genius, and like he didn't do any work, and just yeah. And then he got
Just
a
a
first,
calm
just like
one.
that. Like there were times it's like you just pull your hair out. Like I won't ever be as smart as these people, right?
Yeah.
So I met really smart, talented, educated people at Cambridge. But some of the smartest people and some of the most inspiring people I've met have been after I left uni.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
Like it's not for me. It's not even a comparison. I feel like, yeah, there's so much more to life. There's so much more going on in the world, and there are so many more inspiring and intelligent and talented people outside of that uni bubble.
Yeah.
So uni was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I loved it, and yeah, I'm sure Bilal will say something similar.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
But I was like, well,
No,
we
well.
disagree a lot.
Next
so.
question.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I kind of feel like they're a really good 3 years of life, and you can make them what you want to be. Like, what you can kind of make out of it, what you want to make out of it, right?
Yeah.
So for some people, they might feel. So Patrick's talked about feeling pressure about like getting grades and stuff by comparing yourself to other people and seeing how other people are like putting in no work and getting grades. I kind of sat on that spectrum of like I was putting in no work but getting no grades, because I just didn't care. I wasn't that bothered about like
putting no work and getting no grades.
Yeah, I was just there, just kind of doing nothing.
2-2 gang.
2-2 gang done.
Desmond,
I
2-2.
happily got my
Obviously,
2-2, and that was
Desmond,
calm for me
straight.
because I wasn't really trying to be anything more than what I am.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I'm not gonna force myself to do something I'm not enjoying. Not saying I didn't enjoy my course, but actually sitting there for hours and hours and hours a day, stressing myself out about something, given my own mental health, I was like, you know what, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's
I've got
be
other
clear, I
things
didn't
to-
do this either, by the way. Like, I didn't like kill myself
You wasn't
off.
busting your ass.
No, not really.
Okay.
So I guess like for me, I could find it as like a more chilled place where it wasn't a place of like comparison and trying too hard. Like, I did have fun. Like, I used to go down KFC all the time, went Nando's. I managed to get, you know what, I was talking to someone about this today. I managed to get £2,500 overdrawn, which kind of shows I was having fun, right? Because I don't know how
In
that's
That just
Nando's.
shows bad money management.
Listen, like, the mad thing was when I came out of uni, I started running workshops with kids about money
Yeah.
skills. And I was like,
What was
This
it,
guy's
man?
a fraud.
I showed them my own bank balance. I was
Yeah,
like, this is
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like, this is what I used to do. Don't do this.
Balance.
Yeah.
And I
Balance.
kind of feel like it can be fun. Like, there's ways of making
course,
your
man, I
friends.
had
There's ways of
so
like,
much fun.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't agree with it being the best 3 years of life. Like, life can be what you make it to be, in my opinion, and uni shouldn't be like the pinnacle, because
Yeah.
what does that say about like the next 70 years that you want to live? You know,
That's-
if you live that old.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know
quite
what?
a long
Yeah,
time to live, bro.
I would say if the years coming out of university for me weren't as turbulent as they were, I would say university would have been the worst 3 years of my life.
Yeah.
But I think after university, it got slightly worse. It was very, very tense. Like, I was in a bit of a dead end job.
Yeah.
I had no plan about what I was gonna do. I was trying to figure stuff out, and I think like for me, there was definitely like a aspect of religion that played a really was a really complicating factor.
Yeah.
That meant that all of that period of time was incredibly confusing.
Yeah.
But if that hadn't have happened, I would have said university was just trash.
Yeah.
Like, if I had my time again, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, and it's
Or I'd go and
Can
do
I
like
can I
art or
like touch
something.
on what you said? Because I think like there's a lot of people, younger people might be listening, feeling like, I don't enjoy uni because of this pressure. I don't enjoy uni because of what's going on around me. I don't enjoy uni because of like my own mental health and my life and my stress.
Yeah.
And then by a lot of people going, uni's the best 3 years of your life.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah,
them
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like, oh, am I not
or-
doing it right?
Yeah, or I'm
Yeah.
missing out, or I'm doing something
Yeah.
wrong.
I think as well,
Yeah.
because when you go to school still, the route that is suggested to kids is still university.
Yeah.
And so therefore a lot of the teachers who are teaching those kids have gone to university.
Yeah.
And so these myths of you're going to find your partner at university, I genuinely thought I'd go to university and come out with my
Wow.
friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, friends like Ross, Monica,
Like,
Charlie,
life
like, all of
friends.
these guys. I thought
Nobody
I
told
would-
you what life would be like, right?
Do you know what I mean? And so you rock up and
Your
guys
job's
are
a
like,
joke. You're broke. Your love life's DOA.
yeah, you're just thinking, this is not what my teacher told me,
Didn't
but
catch that one. She didn't.
didn't
catch
actually
that
catch
one.
that.
Doing
She's not
French
paying
speech.
attention.
She's on her flow though.
I think she's stuck in second gear, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah,
It hasn't been
yeah.
a day.
Or a week, you know.
It hasn't even been your month, fam.
Or not even a year.
I don't know where I'm going.
I'll be there for you.
I don't know why they're laughing at me.
Wow.
It's like French speech tune.
Oh, right.
Ah!
That's the
She's
note.
like, this is dead. This is dead.
Yeah, basically, I thought I'd find friends on the pod in it. So
Yeah,
like,
no.
Wow.
But yeah, it's true what you say. Like, I remember being in uni and thinking, these people are my people.
Yeah.
Like, lifelong.
Yeah.
And 4
Where are
years
they
later,
now?
man don't even
Where are they
talk
now?
to none of them.
Where are you
is
now?
it Said you would always
Be
be there.
Where
Well,
are you
actually,
now?
no, I didn't go to university with my people. I went to university with one girl, Rachel,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
went
yeah.
to my school.
Yeah.
But you know who I made friends with? My lecturers. And I know
Yeah.
that sounds
Is it?
bare teacher's
Really?
pet.
I'm friends with one of my lecturers.
All
still.
my lecturers are my
Really?
homies
Wow.
because they were writers, they were editors, they got me work
Fair.
experience,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did all of my
Yeah.
sort of references and everything. But I just thought it's so valuable when you're at a place of study where the people who are teaching you are doing the thing that you think you want to
And
do.
that's
Yeah.
something that's really interesting, because I don't want us to like we spent a long time like knocking it.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
uni's
yeah.
dead, but like actually
I'm not going to stop because my lecturers excommunicated me. But
Okay,
carry on.
You keep going, man.
What?
You
They
can
have the
come
power
for
to
them.
do that.
Well, yeah, in Bible college they do. It's peak.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
Shout out.
Oh, I
shout
remember
out
your-
Jeff
I
if you're
remember-
listening.
I remember your story actually.
Yeah, man. It's peak.
Anyway, I think there's a lot of people who can be listening, be like, no, but actually academically, I'm bare into my subject.
Yeah.
And the same with like Swarzy, like I'm best friends with my lecturers. Like there are people, like for me, I didn't have this because I wasn't that passionate.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't that into it. But there are people who like really love their subject, and that can be the place where like you find yourself in terms of your relationship to that academic subject.
I think in uni especially, like there's a life outside academia as well, where I feel like a lot of people can find themselves. Like even if you don't feel like what you're studying is, you know, you're super passionate about it. Uni, I think, at least for us, it was like a unique space where, you know, you could put on a play and people will come and watch it.
Yeah.
And it will get reviewed in a student newspaper, or you could play sport to a decent level. You know, there's loads of things that you can kind of like lend your energy to and sort of find your passion that way. So it might not be directly linked to what you study, but there might be kind of like a side thing or a side hustle, or, you know, like activity or hobby. Like I played a lot of music, I played a little bit of sports as well. Like I don't do that now. Why you
I
do
was
that?
looking
I
confused.
used to
Like,
play
man, don't play
football.
sports.
Man, then played sport when?
Nah,
For my college.
Oh, is it?
Fitz
Oh,
William.
college sport. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out
No, I
Fitz.
wasn't a uni player, but I played fairly well for my
Man
college.
was about it.
And I played a lot of music as well, and that also like kind of got me through like the kind of the stress of it.
Yeah.
Because I remember in final year I was like, I'm gonna just focus. I'm not gonna do any extracurricular stuff, and it was actually like it was detrimental because I didn't have any way to blow off steam.
Yeah.
So if you find that, you know, your course isn't really doing it for you, like uni's a time where you can actually explore other things without it being,
Yeah. 100%.
you know,
Yeah, I
you
think
don't really have that time when you get into the world of work to like kind of just like stop and be like, I'm gonna explore this for a bit.
Do
I'm
you
gonna
know
explore
what?
that.
It's the community aspect.
Yeah.
It's the community that university provides
Yeah.
that can be the best.
And
bit.
it's also this sort of like weird point between, like in this country anyway, I don't know if it's about the rest of the world, this weird point between like childhood and adulthood,
Yeah.
where like you're sort of hanging in the balance, where like you're older
From
you're like
kidulthood to adulthood. I
that's it.
know.
I
must act like an
adult should.
Yeah.
But like uni's this place where you don't have to act like an adult should, right?
Yeah,
Like, you can
yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah.
there and just be still
But having
young
said
and
that,
exploring.
there's so many people that go to university, like no word of a lie. I met people who I was living with, and I was like, how did you get to university and you don't know how to wash up? Like,
Yeah.
or they ask you mad questions, and you're
Yeah.
thinking to yourself,
But
sorry,
how do you not know this?
Why don't you
Yeah.
FaceTime
I
your
taught
mum?
my boy how to make pasta.
listen, pasta is
that was
actually.
me.
Pasta.
That was me.
That was
You
you.
didn't know how to make pasta.
Nah.
You
Man don't
what?
really cook too tough. Do you know what it is? Yeah, is that
You okay?
yeah, I'm calm. But the thing is, yeah, I don't.
What
like,
did you think you had to do then?
I'm a little bit like. Are you gonna carry on?
All right,
carry on.
sorry.
Nah,
Put
I'm
the
a
packet
little
in the
bit like
microwave.
OCD when it comes to cooking.
Okay.
And so, like, when someone's like, "I'll boil an egg," my thing is like, how long for, at what temperature?
Okay.
But no one gives you that. So when people are like, cook pasta, they're just like, just cook it. You'll know when it's done. I'm like, no, I can't do them things. So man has to get a little Hello Fresh thing and just read the instructions. And then once I know how
You
to
were having
do
Hello
But
Fresh at uni.
Google
You
and
were
that,
balling.
bro.
No,
Who do
me
you think
now.
you are, man?
Man was
okay.
just.
No, but Google,
Man was
like,
just
you
stealing
can't
other
just,
people's
can't you
food
just
at
Google
uni.
how to boil pasta? Like,
Yeah. But everybody gives you different instructions. Have you ever Googled how to make pancakes?
yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways.
Right. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear you. But I think, like, that is...
But there's guys who don't know how to make their bed. There's
Yeah.
guys who like
But
basic life skills.
That's just like a reflection. I mean, no shade to nobody. I mean, if you don't know how to do your bed yet, like, I'm sorry, but like that's just a reflection on kind of how you've been raised.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
you know
just
what I mean?
pathetic.
Like,
Wow.
not
I'm
even
joking,
a,
I'm joking,
not
I'm
even in a
joking.
deep
Wow.
way, but like if you get to uni, you don't know how to do that. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay, but
Yeah.
like stop and learn how to
yeah,
do it. Do you know
today
what I
is
mean?
the day.
Because I think uni is also a place where you build up good habits as well. Like you're at that kind of stage of going into adulthood, and I think, I'm not the best example of this. I feel like I could have been a lot better with money and things like that at university.
Yeah.
But if you're listening and you're still kind of your early stage of uni, you're still at uni, like start building up good habits from now.
Yeah.
Because you have the time and space to like to organize yourself so that
You
when you
know
get
what?
to adult life proper
Yeah, you
and you
know
don't
how
have
to do
time
it.
to like, you don't have time to cook and you don't have
Yeah.
to when you get home
You
from
have your
work.
budget
You've
Can I
and
got
just
shit.
bills
say?
to worry
Can I
about.
just say that that's only assuming that like you haven't lived out on your own anyway before uni.
Yeah, of course.
Because I
But-
feel like there's bare people that have, right? And like maybe it's more about it's the first time you live away and suddenly with bare people your own age.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the weird element, I think, is being around your peers
Mm.
to that extent where it's like you go bed and people
They're
your
there.
age like that. Do you know what I mean? They're not really in dorms too tough.
Yeah.
I think that's a weird
You're
element.
just surrounded by loads of people in their
Yeah, bare
late teens,
youths.
early 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait.
Listen.
I don't know. Are you saying that people's lack of life skills is down to sharing accommodation with their own peers, or is it a reflection on their upbringing?
I would say it's a reflection on your upbringing,
It's
without
a form
being
of
shady.
privilege. It's a form of privilege.
Without being shady, but it's just like, yeah, some people, they get to uni, they don't know how to do certain stuff, but like that's the time to kind of start learning.
Like
that.
boil pasta.
Yeah, dickhead. Do you know why? Do you know why it's a form of privilege? Yeah, because I think there are some things that we take for granted, like having parents who care about you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's very
some
true.
people, like some people who make it to university, is a massive achievement.
Yeah.
Because they made it from nothing. Like there was no one helping them get there. And I think when they get there, it's easy to crease. But also, there are also people who have parents who love and care for them and just
Don't know.
mollycoddle them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And therefore, they don't know how to take care of themselves, or they don't know how to do whatever.
100%. Like that's why I say it's like it's no shade, but it's like, you know, once you're there and you don't know how to do something, that's the time to start learning. And so yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So what I want to know is what were for you. So we've said the litmus was uni's the best 3 years of your life.
Yeah.
Unconclusive. Well, it
I
seems
said
pretty
no,
conclusive.
blood.
I think
no.
Oh
Like,
my days!
You said
I
no.
told you my answer.
I said I think
misquote
it's
me like
40s.
that.
What for you?
Unconclusive,
What for you were the best bits? What
Of
were your
uni?
highlights
Of
of
uni?
university?
Yeah, tell us, man.
Tell us.
What, me?
Right.
What about you?
Bilal knows best
Also,
story.
Bilal looking at me like I got
Tell
like
us,
skeletons in my closet and that. Bro,
Rah.
man was a good boy at
Oh,
uni.
he's got whole 4 bodies in
No,
Right. Oh my.
no, the best the best moments for me at uni, I think one of them was playing in King's College Chapel, which is like, you know, whenever you see like a postcard of Cambridge or like an image of Cambridge, there's just like this really tall like church building.
Yeah.
That's King's College Chapel. It's like kind of Cambridge's kind of symbol, and it looks impressive from outside, and then on the inside it's even more impressive. And I played there with the university orchestra.
What do you play?
Violin and viola. So
Okay,
that
sick.
time I was playing the viola. So the orchestra's got a funny name. It's called Comes One, because it's Cambridge University Musical Society, and
Swarzy's trying
it's the
to
first
crease their
orchestra.
Why is that?
Like
Why
this-
is that an odd name?
What?
I don't know. I just thought it was
They're
it
professional.
was a funny acronym. But anyway, I'll leave you to make your own conclusions. But yeah, that was one of the best moments of my uni experience, because it was just like, I love playing music anyway, and we were talking about this on our penultimate episode on Over the Bridge.
Yeah.
We were talking about like sort of different art forms in our life that have like, you know, inspired us and like impacted us. And one of my like sort of, a lot of my best memories is from playing music, classical music in orchestras and stuff like that. So that was one of my best moments at Cambridge. And my mum and I think my grandma was there, and it was just really nice. But like playing in that space, like it's incredible. Like the acoustics, it's difficult to play in there, but once you get it right, like we had a few rehearsals, and once you sort of, you have to kind of adjust the way that you play, because like there's a lot of reverberation.
Yeah.
So the way you play has to be a lot, like it has to be very clean. Like you can't, everything has to be like to a T, otherwise the reverberations will make it sound dissonant.
Yeah.
So once you get it right, it's
Just
just
using bare big words.
it will
The
sound off.
reverberations.
It sound off.
It will sound bare. It will just sound ugly. So
yeah.
once you get it right, and like, yeah, like you'll play a note and then it will just like continue going.
Glides.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So that was one of my favorite moments. Working with the ACS was always a joy, man. That was like the thing that kind of kept me grounded as well at uni.
Do you know what?
African
My uni
Caribbean
didn't
Society.
even have an
You know about
ACS.
ACS?
No, it
What
was
uni?
Bible college.
Bible
It was,
college,
yeah,
innit?
it was a myth, man.
It didn't have an ACS.
No, bro.
Did they
it
have
had me.
societies?
I was ACS, it's just me and 2 people, my friends.
Wow.
So
That's
3.
it. Yeah.
So
No, I
should have
was
started
dead.
one.
What'd you say?
Should have started one.
Nah. It's not that season.
Well,
or
for
that
you and your
time.
2 friends.
Yeah, man. Trust. Come and
A, C, and
eat
S.
planting. Yeah. ACS was sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. We went on the committee
No,
together,
not at the
weren't we?
same time.
So I was on the committee in 2010, 2011. And we just put together like a lot of cool events. We wanted to like really like sort of cover everything. So not just like entertainment type events. Like we had, this is when Take Me Out started to blow like on TV. So we did our own version of that in Cambridge,
No
which was
way,
yeah,
did
yeah, it
you?
was so much fun. It was hilarious. So we did that, but then we had like a lot of kind of like more serious events, like career events, more sort of like intellectual events. We had like people come up and speak. I remember, we had Jesse Jackson come up and speak for us and stuff like that. So
Sick.
yeah, it was it was a lot of fun, man. Just putting together, like, that was like the first time that I really sort of started to work as a team to like put on events and like, you know, put together like good quality stuff. Do you know what I mean?
It's where you learn like your management skills and
definitely
and people management.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because that plays into a lot of what I do nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I work in project management. Well,
Okay.
just left my job, but I'm looking for a new one in project management.
Shout out anybody. LinkedIn.
Yeah, my LinkedIn, Patrick Marche. My dad's also on LinkedIn as well. We've got the same name, so I'm the younger looking one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where I learned a lot of my sort of people management skills, and it's something that I still have with me today. And that's the point I was making about, you know, your side hustles can inform what you go on to do later on.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
Bilal,
top.
What did I love? I started a club night when I was at uni, and for me that was a big deal. Like, it was my third year, which is a bad time to start a club night.
Well,
if anyone's listening and looking to start one, like, that's why I got a 2-2. But it was fun and it was totally worth it because I learned bare things about like club management, about events, about promoting, about like how to get the right people in the room. And I think for me, like, one of my mad highlights, this is a weird highlight of uni, but I got to like MC on the mic before Romeo and Lisa came on.
What?
So like,
like you were spitting bars.
I was actually spitting bars.
What, you're MC?
What?
Exactly, like what?
That's
Where's
how
the
you're
where's the
famous.
footage of this?
Drop some bars for
There's
us
no
now.
footage.
Alright, come on, quick
There's
freestyle,
no
quick
footage.
16, bro.
Bars.
Go on, spit.
It's not happening.
He
It's
looks
not
nervous,
happening.
you
It's
know.
not happening. It's
Some
not
bars,
Man's
happening.
palms are sweating like.
These weak palms are sweating.
No, but
Mom
like,
spaghetti.
This
but
bumming
like
on
on a real, for me it was like that sort of the skill of like inviting people in, like running, doing all of that stuff was a big deal. And yeah, meeting some artists that I really love, like Artful Dodger, Romeo, Lisa, Lethal B came down, which was a bit.
Is
like,
it? Leave it.
Yeah, and that was like in Cambridge, and it was like revolutionising what the club scene was for that place.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we'd have like hip hop, garage, and grime as like an actual night out. I remember one night we thought, let's do a bashment dancehall soca night. And I remember,
Cambridge, you know.
yeah,
Cambridge.
and that was like
wow.
for Cambridge students, that's like a whole different level of what they're used to.
Yeah.
I remember going home, and then near my house in Northwest, there's a patty factory.
Yeah.
I remember going into the patty factory and like bulk ordering patties, like carrying them on the train back up to Cambridge, going to my room, cooking them all.
Yeah.
Like I used like about 4 kitchens in my block.
Yeah.
I was cooking bare patties at once, like running around, like pulling these patties out, and then took them outside the club and like sold them.
Some Escobar of patties,
And it, like,
bro.
yo,
Whipping.
that was it.
Look at
And-
the flick of the wrist. Mixed up in the kitchen.
But that's a weird highlight for me because
Yeah.
it's sort of like I'm gonna bring my culture to this city
Yeah.
and make this city my city in a way that like the city I've been forced to make this city my city.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make the city my city and give you my bit,
man's
Yeah.
doing
and
reverse
like made money out of it
assimilation.
as well. So that was fun. That's like my highlight of fun stuff in terms of like academic sort of getting involved in the uni life. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do anything. I was more involved in like just chilling in my room, getting life done,
Getting
reading,
your hair did.
getting my hair did.
You were a
Yeah.
fly girl. Get your hair done.
Yeah, I just never really like. To me, the uni life and highlights were more about like the fun bits I did on the side because everybody goes there, everybody studies. Like getting your head down is like that's part and parcel of it. I wish I'd got more involved in like doing the shit that you said that you did, but I never really.
Well, it's just different for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
If
I
you had a
wasn't really
good
about
time,
it.
you had a good time.
Had a
like-
good time in different ways
This
by
is
sort
it.
of setting things up because I feel like uni gives you the opportunity to expand your horizons in a way that you see fit,
Yeah.
rather than like trying to build on what's already there. Like uni gives you that stuff, of course. There's like loads of societies and all of that things to join. At Freshers Fair, to be honest, I went Freshers Fair for Free Dominoes, not for like.
Yeah.
any-
Straight.
Remember Free Dominoes?
Free Dominoes
Yeah,
That was the
on deck.
one. That was
Yeah.
the one. And I wasn't really there to sign up to anything.
Yeah.
The only thing I signed up to was ACS, but I thought that was like part and parcel of what I had to do anyway.
You're
It's like, well,
how can
okay.
you not?
How can I not?
you not? Yeah.
Like,
Bilal,
What's that?
yeah, that's all at the back, please. Yeah. I'll just direct you.
Yeah, I'm just
Wait,
here
your
for
name's
one thing.
Bilal? You're
Yeah.
brown?
Yeah.
I think
Here's
your
a
fellas
tote
are at the back. Heard
yeah,
the dance really well.
that was it. And then after that,
That actually
I
happened
just-
to me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Sorry. Go on.
yeah, that was kind of it. And I think like highlights in terms of academic stuff. I think the bit after exams is always fun.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can
Oh, I
breathe.
forgot about that,
actually
man.
breathe.
You could breathe and just it was just debauchery,
chill,
man.
just
Like
Staying just indoors.
actually
so
just
much
debauchery, you know.
drinking, and I mean,
Bruh.
okay, some people don't drink, and
Man
that,
wasn't
but
really
like
allowed
it was.
alcohol on campus and that, so.
Oh,
Really?
it
Oh,
was
of course.
different, man.
Yeah.
But you know Jesus turned water into wine.
Nah, you didn't, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
That
not
was a
even
lie.
there. That's another.
That's not
book.
even in the Bible.
Talking too much, man. I
Mad
don't.
thing. Alright.
What's your highlight,
You
Ben?
lot
Nah, honestly, I don't have any.
Come on, you must have a
It
highlight.
was like.
You were there.
it
You
was
you
like-
must have something that you enjoyed.
Have you still got friends from uni?
Maybe like 2.
Well, that's two
That's
more
a
than
highlight.
0.
Well, Yeah, no, I've got friends. That's rude to say that they're not my friends. I've got like a couple of friends. But do you know what? Do you know what's mad, yeah? Is that I've got less friends than the amount of people I was a groomsman for at university. So also because in Bible college everyone gets married bare young, innit? So I was a groomsman like maybe 4 or 5 times, and out of all of those people, I've got like maybe 1 or 2 friends, which is mad. I think maybe my highlight was like, I don't know. I'm gonna struggle, so as you're gonna have to do yours because it's a stretch for me to find a fun memory.
Swaz, what did you do again?
I did creative writing
Hey.
at Roehampton.
Okay.
And I loved it. Like, I loved my course. I loved my teachers. Like, I just had a really good time. But I didn't have a good time socially because no one prepared me for the idea that everyone drinks. And if you don't drink, you are very much alone.
I feel so bad now after what I
No.
said.
And the thing is, no, but that's cool because I think it actually, I don't want to say I was the empowered one, but people were like, oh, I don't drink as well. And then actually you find other people say, oh yeah, I don't do this and I don't do that. And you don't feel, isolated because I think everyone tries to fit in. And the more you try to do that, the less of yourself you become.
That is true.
And then you realise when you leave university, there's bare people that don't drink and you're like, oh my gosh.
And this is it.
Why did no one tell me this?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the people who are the most dominant at uni that get like that become uni.
Yeah.
In a weird, whereas like there's
Yeah,
bare
them man
subcultures
always
and other
stay in
society.
it for bare
Yeah,
years.
there's the people who stay forever.
Yeah.
They're
People who
most
keep coming
relevant
back.
in that context, innit?
Yeah.
So they'll love to have like the sort of the reunion dinners and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
They weren't relevant before and aren't relevant after.
No.
I don't know. Again, no shade. I'm not trying to shade anyone, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
actually actively friends.
We gotta wrap this up. Wrap that gabble up. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up with, give me one tip that you now know once you've left university that you wish someone had told you. One thing.
My God, like about uni.
Yeah, something that you never expected it, and that now you know it. You're like, oh, I wish.
Do you know what? I would actually genuinely say that lectures are interesting. Like, not all of them, and I'm not lying. Like some of them are actually boring, but like lectures are really interesting because the one thing that I miss is like having that space to go and learn something.
Yeah.
Because now I actually have to go and seek out learning when I was learning on my doorstep and I was paying for it but not attending. And I'm annoyed at myself. I'm genuinely annoyed at myself now for like the 80% of lectures that I was supposed to go to that I never went to.
Yeah.
And just because I wanted to be in bed. And like now I'm like in the evening I got to pay £15 to go to a talk, which is nuts. When like I could have just gone to a
That
talk.
person was
free.
actually at uni.
There was
for
someone
free.
there talking for free.
Well,
like
not for free, but you paid for it already. Yeah.
but they were talking, and I should have gone. And I kind of think that for people who are like maybe at uni or thinking of going uni, that's a really big thing to actually attend. And I know it sounds dead, like, oh, this man's telling me to go to lectures. And like, no, like actually you'll look back on it in a few years and be like, I kind of should have gone to them lectures.
And
you know?
it doesn't even have to be the lectures that are associated directly with your course.
Nah.
There's loads of other different
I went to
lectures.
bare sociology ones and not even theology, and I was supposed to be doing theology. Because sociology was in the afternoon, so I was awake. That's why I went.
I'm up now. I might as well.
I might as well go somewhere.
My word of advice, I'd say don't lose yourself trying to find yourself.
Wow.
Like, just
It's profound.
just
I said, yeah.
no, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. Don't lose yourself trying to find yourself. What do I mean by that? Try out lots of different things, but don't sort of do stuff because other people are doing it, or that's like the cool thing to do. Or I mean, it sounds a very obvious thing to say, but there's so much that you can get into at university, but get into it for the right reasons, not because, you know, this person that you want to be friends with thinks it's a cool idea, or the girl that you like thinks it, because honestly, like, university is only 3 years of your life, and the things that you sort of invest in that time can have implications for the rest of your life. But if you invest in the wrong things, like for the wrong reasons, then you've kind of like, you've wasted those 3 years. Well, I wouldn't say wasted, but yeah, you're I would just say be careful with what you invest in. But really, you know, push the boat out a little bit. Like for my year abroad, because I did Spanish and Portuguese literature, we had to go to a country that spoke the language that we studied, right? And most people, I remember, they kind of played it safe, and fair play to them, because like, I mean, my year abroad was a bit more wild and it wasn't as easy to organize. But like most people kind of stayed in Europe. They went to like Madrid or like Lisbon, Barcelona, Paris, them places. I was like, I'm gonna go as far as I can. So I went to Brazil. I stayed there for 8 months.
Wow.
And then I spent 3 months in Havana.
Right.
So I studied music in Havana. and interning at Time Out magazine in Rio de Janeiro. So
Yeah.
literally, so my best period at uni wasn't even in Cambridge.
Right.
It was when I was there,
Yeah.
because I did some amazing stuff during my year abroad, and it shaped to what I would end up doing anyway. Because I moved back to Brazil, let's say, after uni. I lived there for 2
Sick.
years,
Yeah.
and I worked in journalism there for 2 years. So yeah, man, I had a great time. Like, I was during my year abroad, like, I remember people like, oh yeah, you know, went out drinking again, and like, until, but I was like, and they were like, oh, so what you been up to? I was like, oh yeah, I was a press photographer at Rio Carnival for
Yeah.
Time Out. Like, so I really was just like, let me just go as far, and that's what uni's about, man. Like, just go as far as you can, as you can,
Yeah.
whether it's distance or whether it's, you know, working on a new project or whatever.
Yeah.
But do it for the right reasons. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And don't kind of just follow what everybody else is doing, because
Yeah,
you'll have a better time for it, man.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. That's bare inspirational.
Bears. And
Fam.
actually, I'll second on that. Yeah. So don't lose yourself. Don't find yourself trying to lose yourself. And you said it better than I did. But also, like, practical advice, yeah.
feel
Like
really wrong.
cutlery, yeah.
It's
Buy
cool, man.
cutlery that's all the same color, because then you know that's yours.
That's true.
you
Yeah,
got
buy
to.
buy
Bare
odd
things.
cutlery.
Get
Like,
the
Buy them
good
from
ones.
don't get the bait
But
one.
get them from
Trust.
charity shops. Get everything
Wow.
from a charity shop.
Okay, yeah.
It's so cheap.
Okay.
I
That's
bought
a bit
everything I
disgusting
owned.
though, man.
Huh?
Cutlery from a charity shop.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can wash it, man.
bruv.
No, but you know sometimes when
You
it-
bleach
like, when
everything.
it's
Yeah,
brown on the
bleach is-
inside
Like,
of
buy
it.
everything.
Getting
Okay,
done.
That's
I
butters,
bought.
I can tell you're a
that
clean
is
freak.
Yeah,
I love
innit?
that. I love
That's
that.
butters,
Because
yeah.
I think about that as
Okay.
well. I'm not
I'm
gonna
good
lie.
at washing up, innit?
Wow.
I'm not
Yeah,
good
you
at
gotta
cooking,
get
but I'm sick
in
at
those
washing up.
gaps
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
fork.
yeah,
These
yeah.
man on How Clean Is Your House, you know.
Sorry.
Like
No,
Trinity
but-
and Susanna
No,
out
but
here.
think about. Look at your fork now. If you're eating right now, or go to your cutlery drawer right now. If it's black in the gaps in
Fam,
your fork,
Yeah,
that's
you
not
gotta
clean.
find
what
a
is
way.
that? 'Cause
That's
it's,
not
it's
clean.
not. It's not metal.
That is
so
residue.
Yeah, just think about that.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
bold.
think about that.
My God, I can see
Yeah.
a new.
Sorry,
I can see a
Swaz.
whole new show coming about.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I'd say buy that. Try and do a work experience before you graduate, because you may go into something that you don't enjoy, realizing that you thought that's what you wanted to do.
Yep.
You do the work experience and you realize actually that's not for me. So try and do that before. And also try and module all of your courses towards something that you want to do outside of uni. So like with me, I did a writing for the internet module, and I did it around presenting and blogging and vlogging, and I got a job at the end of it through a company that wasn't even looking at my degree, to be honest with you. So if you can actually use your degree to further whatever you're going to do afterwards,
That's a lot.
yeah, I think those are good. That I learned when I came out of university. I wish someone had told me earlier. Then if you're listening and you're thinking about, do I go to university? Yeah, like there's loads of good things about university, and everyone's experience is going to be different, but of course you've got loads of different avenues as well.
And it's also not for everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true. That's true.
Internships, work experiences, you just go straight into work, to be honest, and those are all successful paths to be doing whatever you want to go and do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
even if you're at uni and you feel like this isn't working out, like, I'm not telling people to just give up when things get difficult, but it's okay to like say
Change.
this isn't for me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe try a different course or just leave university altogether. I'm not
Yeah.
encouraging loads of people now to just drop their course because
Yeah.
they've handed in a couple things late, but yeah, think about that as well. Like, it's okay to be like, this isn't for me.
100%.
Mm.
I
Try
did that in
something
my
else.
first year. I went to Denmark for a year, and then I was like, no, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, you
And-
can change
and
your
I switched
mind.
my course, yeah.
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 I think my advice would be maximize your time. I think you don't realize, particularly if you go to university straight after school, you don't realize how much time you have, and you also don't appreciate the fact that you're young. And if you're able-bodied and you're young at university, you have so much energy that you waste. So many hours in the day. I'm not saying wake up at 6 a.m. every day, but like if you have passions or projects that you want to do, or things that you're thinking, when I'm a bit older, when I graduate, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be an editor of magazine or do whatever, make films or blah, blah. Do that while you're at uni, because you've got so much time that you spend doing nothing. And bring people in, like create a collective, like make all of your friends do dope shit and do whatever you can, so that when you leave uni, you have stuff to say that you've done, because it puts you so far ahead.
Yeah.
And also the people that are not in uni are getting real life industry experience in whatever it is that they're doing. It might be dead, like they might be working in a car dealership or doing something that they don't want to do, but they're still 3 years ahead of you when they leave in some kind of work experience. So if you can create work for yourself, particularly if you're a creative person, I would say do that stuff while you're at uni.
Yeah.
Make a podcast, do whatever you want to do, because you just got bare time, man, and you spend it doing what? Eating Dominoes and chilling and
Listen to the Litmus podcast.
yeah. No, carry on listening to that, because that's important.
That's actually important.
yeah.
Like, keep
everything
doing
else.
that.
Yeah,
Do that every week.
keep on doing that, man.
If you need to skip
Fridays,
lectures,
new drops. Don't worry.
I mean, these are basically lectures anyway.
Theology's
Yeah,
not
trust.
going nowhere, man. It's
If you
been
need to
here
write a
for thousands of
dissertation
years.
on us, you know, you can quote us. There you go. This is the
Yo.
Litmus podcast, slightly in collaboration with Over the Bridge podcast as well.
Okay.
We've got
This
Hair
is
by
so
Bilal,
nice.
Bants by Bilal,
Hair by
everything by
Bilal.
Bilal. We've
I'ma
got
make
Bilal
that
in house.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to,
Make
man.
that
I'm going to
happen.
be following.
Bilal is sick.
Pax Cosmetics, you need to hit him up, man, because listen, that new
Pax,
line.
yo, me and Pax in
You just ring them up
partnership,
like,
you know.
no, I'm your
Speed
op,
is
fam.
too luscious.
Wow.
Welcome.
Welcome. We got Patrick in the house. Thank you so much for coming
Oh,
through.
it's been a
Money.
pleasure, man. It's
Love,
been a pleasure.
love. Not the fake one, the real one.
Yeah, man.
Obviously,
Actual.
I'm out here.
Not even a
Very
yellow
nice.
heart. This is the red heart.
The red
Come
heart,
on.
man.
Red heart all the way.
Yeah.
Red heart all
yeah.
the way.
Unless you're Crip.
Blue hearts.
Let's do the ops. Ops.
Yeah.
There you go, the Litmus podcast. Thank you so much for listening in. We'll see you soon. Bye.
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 That was great, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks,
Oh, that
guys.
was fun, man.
Yeah,
Well
that's really
done.
good. Yeah.
Good job.
Oh.
You're so smart.
Oh,
You
so
said so
good.
many good things.